And now there are evidence that Hindu soldiers were found fighting on the side of the Israeli Defense Forces, killing Palestinians. And they think that now they can have this power to destabilize the world. Well, it's both. It is a threat to international system and also to the regional systems. At international level, you could see that the killing of the Sikh leader in Canada, in UK, attempts on Sikh residents in USA actually intimidated those powers against India. And you may recall that in G20 summit that was held in India, Prime Minister Trudeau had stated it categorically that they had very strong, he didn't say he had strong evidence, he said Five Eyes had strong evidence. And you might know that Five Eyes means that these are the agencies of 5 countries, which includes USA, which includes Australia, which includes New Zealand, which includes UK, and of course Canada. So 5 agencies have very strong evidence against government-sponsored terrorism in those countries. So that is the international part. Now coming down to the regional, they have very comfortably, the Indian leadership has been saying that ghus ke marenge. They will enter our territories and they will do killings. Now that is blatant audacity. Just because India is member of Quad, which is a 4-member security organization, including Japan, Australia, USA and India, that doesn't give it a license to kill, doesn't give it license to be a rogue state. They are actually collaborating with Israelis. It seems that the Hindutva agenda is blending in well with the Zionist agenda. And now there are evidence that Hindu soldiers were found fighting on the side of the Israeli Defense Forces, killing Palestinians. And they think that now they can have this power to destabilize the world, but actually India is destabilizing itself. The India that the British had romanticized does not exist anymore. There is no secular India. It is a Hindutva India. And if India has to be for the Hindus, then all its charm and its rich culture, which was given to it by the Mughal Empire, by Muslim empires before that, will be taken away, and they will have very little to show for themselves. You have to understand, in your question you have asked 2 different things. One is international organization and the other is international community. They're 2 different things. In an international organization, there is a procedure to bring an issue for discussion at that platform. And if a member country brings that issue in that organization, then it is deliberated upon. If not, then it is not discussed. So that we should bear in mind. But on the other hand, when you talk about the international community does bear a very strong responsibility, particularly those who are selling arms to India, particularly those who, while now being confronted with these killings in their own lands, are still keeping a blind eye because of India's collaboration with Israel also. And in my view, India is heading towards implosion because with this Hindutva agenda, with this discrimination against minorities and marginalized population, you can see that Mr. Modi in his recent elections realized that Muslim votes matter, and he cannot ignore them and kill them and abuse them and tell them to leave India just because of their faith. They have been there for thousands of years. They have a right to live, whether they're Muslims or Christians or Jains or Dalits or whoever it may be. You know about the recent rape of a doctor, Lady Doll, how they're treating women. So if this Hindutva agenda continues, India is likely to implode. So they have to be very careful that if they are setting fire in their neighborhood, the fire will come to them too. I I totally agree with that, because you can see that after the 9th August, 5th August 2019, abrogation of Article 370 and Article 35A of the Indian Constitution, Kashmiris were totally stifled. Their identity was taken away. They were not, since then, have not really been given that right to exist as proud people that they are. Now, the Modi strategy was that they would let non-Kashmiris, Hindus and other religions to come here, basically with the strategy to change the demography. And the reason for changing demography is plebiscite. In case a plebiscite takes place, the votes would not be enough to really voice the spirit and the voice of the people of Kashmir. But I think that has failed. Modi got a very strong message in his recent elections that Muslim votes in general, Kashmiris in particular, are not happy with the way this government is implementing its policies, and he has failed badly. I think they themselves are, creating their problems bigger.